We've heard mixed reviews about Madrid and thought the only way to find out the truth was to check it out for ourselves.
At the end of this video, we'll let you know what our honest opinion is.
Spain's capital has so much to offer, from the world-class Prado Museum to the endless, drool-worthy tapas spots. We had so much fun exploring the vibrant and exciting city of Madrid.
We're in Plaza De Mayor, which dates back all the way back to the 15th century and was the main market square back in the early times of Madrid. It feels a lot like we're in Italy though, not in Madrid, because there's a big football match tonight and we're overrun with Inter Milan fans. It's just blue and black everywhere through here. Thousands of Italians.
They're singing, drinking, chanting.
Lots of drinking. I think they're drinking more than they're singing at the moment. Getting ready for tonight. We've just got to Retiro Park and this place is massive. It's 1.4 square kilometres and we've got a perfect sunny day to explore it.
It's springtime, so it is the perfect time to come here while all the flowers are in bloom. This place has been around since the 1600s. It has a super royal vibe about it, so it made sense when we found out it had been owned by the monarchy until the 19th century.
We've only done a small fraction of it, so let's go keep exploring and see what else we can find. Seen the little rowboats on the pond and how could we say no on such a nice day? Let's go do it now. That was super romantic with the sun setting and it only cost what, like €6 for 45 minutes? It was so cheap.
After our time in the park, we popped over to see the Arco della Victoria. We were lucky enough to see it during tulip season, and it was incredible, surrounded by the spring blooms.
It was time to get to our food tour. We hopped on the Metro, which was incredibly easy to use. We used the Metro every day of our trip.
We've just started our tapas and wine tour, which I'm super hungry, but I'm also desperate for a wine as well, so we're on our first stop now, can't wait.
So first stop was El Lacon, and I swear we tried like 8 things.
Yeah, it would have been 5, 6, 7, 8 dishes, something like that, and they're all fabulous. We had some asparagus, we had some blood sausage, we had some fish.
We tried tripe, which wasn't as bad as it sounds.
Tripe with chickpeas in like a tomatoey sauce. It was actually, I found it really yum. I was the main one eating it on the table. I think I sort of finished it off, but super delicious. Glass of red wine. Now off to stop 2.
We're off to a bad start. I've already had far too much to eat.
Yeah, I went a little bit hard. I probably had more than my share.
Stop 2 of our food tour was Taberna El Fontaine. The highlight of this stop was definitely the Basque cider, which Grace learnt to pour in the traditional Spanish way.
I think I've fallen in love with vermouth. It's delicious.
Our final stop was possibly the best. Los Gallegos is one of the oldest restaurants in Madrid, and we had incredible pork belly on a pumpkin mash here.
The food tour was so good that we didn't want the night to end, so we headed to Salmon Guru, a cocktail bar recommended by our guide. If you're interested in the Madrid foodie scene, you should definitely check out our Madrid food vlog.
We've had our fair share of cocktails and vermouths, but we had such a fun night. The food tour was amazing.
As with a few of the food tours that we've done now, we've met some really cool people that we've made friends with and ended up kicking on and having a few drinks afterwards, and it's probably almost 2 o'clock in the morning.
We went to a bar that is super popular with the Madrid locals. It's called Salmon Bar and it had such a cool vibe.
The next morning we headed off to the Palace precinct, with our first stop being the impressive cathedral.
We have just finished in Almudena Cathedral.
It was so beautiful and bright and Spanish with the rainbow stained glass. Even though it looks really old, it actually was only completed in 1993 after 110 years of construction.
Yeah, only 30 years ago, but it looks like it's a 400-year-old building. Very deceptive.
Oh my goodness. So beautiful. So we just finished our guided English tour through the Royal Palace of Madrid.
And while it is the official residence, it's not actually occupied by the royal family, it's just used for state ceremonies, but it is the largest palace in all of Europe.
It has more than 3,400 rooms, and the ones we went through were spectacular. My personal favorites was the chapel. It had this amazing gold gilded ceiling, and we walked through a really cool room that had like china all over the walls. It was just amazing.
But unfortunately, you can't take any photos or get footage in there, so you just have to do the tour for yourself. So we're going to Sky Bar, up the top of that building there. It's a beautiful view and beautiful spot for a cocktail, but it's mayhem up here with people coming up to get photos at the viewpoint because it's famous for being in the TV show Elite.
We have just left Sky Bar and it was the perfect place to watch a sunset, but it was pretty hectic up there, so we've decided to go somewhere else to have a drink.
Yeah, it wasn't really our vibe by the end. Then when you're surrounded by like 100 people waiting in a line to get this photo at a viewpoint and you're just trying to sort of sit and have your cocktail, but we did it, we tried it, now we're off to somewhere a bit more peaceful, hopefully, that we can sit and enjoy our drinks.
After the absolute chaos of Sky Bar, we headed just around the corner and had 2 delicious cocktails at the super cute 1862 cocktail bar.
Wanting to learn a bit more about the history of the city, we joined a free walking tour with Tourstilla. The tour went for around 2.5 hours and took us through all the key sites in the old town. This was a really great way to make sure we didn't miss any important sites and to get a feel of the super interesting history of Madrid.
Our walking tour ended at the perfect spot to watch the sunset over the palace and cathedral. This spot was super popular with locals and is called Mirador de la Catedral. I highly recommend grabbing a bottle of wine and staying here watching the magical Madrid sunset.
We're at Porta del Sol, which is one of the busiest parts of Madrid and roughly translates to Sun Place. It's most famous for being the centre of Spain.
It's certainly sunny today.
It's very sunny, it's glary.
Absolutely bustling even though it's a weekday.
We're on Gran Via, the main shopping strip here in Madrid, and it's a photo that always comes up when you Google Madrid as well, so let's go see what all the fuss is about.
After a morning of shopping, we had a quick pit stop for a cheeky lunchtime cocktail at the rooftop of the Heritage Hotel. This spot is so underrated. It was beautiful, had yummy cocktails and a fantastic view over the city.
We've just come out of the Prado Museum and spent a few hours literally getting lost inside, but I'm not typically that into art. It was actually a really enjoyable little self-guided walking tour that we did.
It was so cool. We saw heaps of work by Goya, who is one of Spain's most famous artists, and one of my favourite artworks of all time, which is Bosch's Garden of Earthly Delights. It is so unusual.
And we booked online a few days in advance and the queue was huge when we got here, so definitely recommend booking in advance so you can skip that queue and get straight in to enjoy the art.
It was only about €15 per person. We're walking up the main street right now of the Malasana neighbourhood, which is meant to have really good shopping and be a little bit cool in here. So let's check it out. This is a way better vibe than Gran Via. It has so many shops and cute little places to walk into. Loving it.
Far more local vibe as well,
Yeah.
the Gran Via.
Good for a Saturday morning stroll.
Definitely. Good choice.
For our final day in Madrid, we headed to an oasis in the city and spent the morning in the Sorolla Museum.
We're here in the gardens of the Sorolla Museum, which was a painter at the turn of the century. He's got all his artworks through the house, which is his former residence as well, so it's sort of his former house and the art gallery in one.
He was really famous for travelling extensively through Spain, so it was cool to see paintings of all the little spots we visited, like San Sebastian and Seville, or the vlogs that you can check out. It was just beautiful, and only €3. Bargain.
Super cheap.
Despite the mixed reviews of this city, I don't think it will surprise any of you to hear that we absolutely loved it. Madrid was so fun and vibrant, and it had everything to offer. Aside from the sights, the food was insanely good, so make sure to check out our upcoming food vlog. We also visited some incredible day trip spots, which you will also see on our channel soon.